Hello students, in this fifth chapter we are going to study the science and culture in the 17th century. In this 17th century we can consider that it was the real beginning, the basis of the modern science. The two main theories that they developed in that century were empiricism and rationalism. The first one, empiricism, was created by an English, Francis Bacon, and he had a method, a scientific method, that just by observation of reality, the one you experiment is the only right to check the validity of the theory, of the reality. In the case of rationalism, it was developed by René Descartes, a French, and he supported the use of reason to understand reality. The main contributions in science were in the fields of mathematics, in physics, and in astronomy. In mathematics, the two main remarkable scientists were Descartes and John Napier. Descartes, you have here an image of the thing he invented, the coordinate system. In the case of John Napier, he invented the logarithm, because we are talking inside of maths. In physics, we have to mention Galileo Galilei and Isaac Newton. In physics, the development made by Galileo Galilei was the principle of inertia, and Isaac Newton formulated the law of gravitation. In astronomy, Johannes Kepler studied the orbits of the planets. It is the movement that the Earth and other planets in the Milky Way do around the Sun, and Galileo, in addition, confirmed the theory of heliocentricity. It means that all planets go around the Sun in our galaxy. It was not easy for those new ideas to be accepted because the authority was unquestionable in that times, and everything the scientific said had to coincide with the Bible, and because the new ideas were rejected or considered dangerous. When we say technological progress, we are referring to the inventions of instruments, scientific instruments in the 17th century. The main ones were the telescope, invented by Hans Lippershey but improved by Galileo, the mechanical calculator by Blaise Pascal, the barometer, that is a machine that helps to weigh the air, sirve para medir el peso del aire, and the microscope. And in the field of culture, the 17th century was a very fertile century, mainly in the field of writing, in literacy. In England, there were two remarkable writers who were Milton and particularly William Shakespeare. In France, Molière and Racine, and in Spain continued having that what was called since the previous century the Golden Age. And there were two centuries, the previous one and the 17th century. In literary, it masters the 17th century because it was the century of Cervantes, Lope de Vega, Góngora, and Quevedo. They were universal writers, not just Spanish or European, but of the world. In the case of the theater, it grew significantly during the 17th century, and they built special theaters in open air and inside of the buildings, in the patios of the buildings, and they were called, you have here the image, Corral de Comedias, and many people of several social classes gathered there, met there to assist to the theater.